Welcome to your second period intermission on Summit Dodge Tommy's Hockey on 95.7 The Wolf. Game between the Dalhousie Tigers and your St. Thomas Tommies. We'll be back to second period action momentarily. Our guest in the first intermission is our guest here in the second intermission as well. Gary Smith lives in Grand Falls, New Brunswick. He is a goaltending mask expert, an author as well. And Gary and I, in the second part of the interview, talk a little bit more about the history of the goaltending masks as well as his time at St. Thomas.
Oh yeah, it was a dark age. When I played, it was funny because when I came to Stu, I remember talking to Leroy Washburn and saying I would sign a waiver, let me wear my own masks, and no, I had to wear the CSA helmet and cage, and that was they weren't going to budge on that, and I just hated the fact that I had to wear that, and it looked so generic. And I guess like most goaltenders, I was somewhat vain, and I just hate the idea of wearing something that, the forwards are all wearing these same helmets, and I want to stand out and be different. But that was an era. And then, of course, it evolved back into the combo mask that we have today with the cage over the eyes, but the rest is, a composite shell and paintable at least, yeah.
Yeah, I have to agree. I love that analysis of the Dark Age because it really was because goaltenders, no disrespect, Gary, but goaltenders tend to be considered the oddball of the team, and they have their own personality. And I guess you weren't able to, that's why Kelly Hrudey had to put the thing into the back, the little scarf out of his back to be distinctive.
Yeah, and actually I talked to Kelly about this in an interview last year during the tour, and we were talking about that very thing, that obviously they were safer, your eyes are vulnerable with the old style masks, and you've got a cage over your eyes to protect you, so it was, common sense would dictate you'd wear something that was less dangerous, but most goalies don't have a lot of common sense. Otherwise, they wouldn't be goalies. I've seen, I've seen goalies hurt pretty bad wearing the old helmet and cage because they weren't really designed to deflect a shot. More of the helmet's designed to protect your head when it's being banged against the glass or something as a forward, but not a direct impact of a puck. But so. When they started switching and making goalies switch, it was, like I say, a dark age for goalies because we like to express ourselves and with the way we look and everything else. So.
All right, you did mention there a little bit about coming to St. Thomas University, and I guess the genesis of how that all ended up in St. Thomas in the mid-'80s.
Yeah, well, I'm originally from Ontario, and I was just recruited to play for St. Thomas, and I thought that was a great opportunity for me, and I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed my time there, and I enjoyed playing for the Tommies. It was a good time. And still keep in touch with a lot of my teammates, and we get together for alumni games and now and again, and see each other when we do. We always have reminisce about the good old days and stuff like that.
Now, of course, before I let you go, I guess give people a little bit more, because the book isn't just about one particular mask. How is the book divided?
Oh, it divides the pre-mask era. It starts with that, and actually we start in the introduction with a foreword by Cheevers, and then in the introduction we talk about the evolution of the game and goaltending itself, and it's an important point that without the technology and the masks today, you can't. The goalies wouldn't be able to play the way they do, with a butterfly and taking a shot off the wing and just dropping to your knees. In my day, we stood up and, we had to stay on our feet because it was, if you went down on your knees in a slap shot with a guy coming out, you're going to get nailed in the head. And now they can, they can get hit up there. The protection and the equipment is so much better, and we talk about that. We talk about masks in general. We give a little blurb about how they've always been intriguing, whether they be ceremonial masks, whatever throughout history, and then we go right into all the gruesome injuries that goalies suffered. Terry Sawchuk had to have his eye taken right out of the socket to get stitched up at one point. And then, how as the game sped up and shots became harder and, goalies weren't allowed to even fall to the ice. We have a little thing on Benedict, who started in the 1930s. He wore a mask for a very short period to cover a broken nose or a cheekbone. And he would fall to the ice on purpose, but he'd make it look like it was a fall, and then he stopped the puck that way. And then they finally changed the rules that goalies could go to the ice to stop the puck. And the game sped up. It evolved. It changed. And as it did, especially in the late 50s and early 60s, when you got Boom Boom Jeffrey on, you got Rocco Richard crashing the net, goalies were getting hurt, and they were losing their minds because they were very nervous people because they knew that in an instant their careers could end. And dropping down into a goalmouth scramble with no mask on, face first to try to find the puck. It's not hard to imagine a stick or a skate clipping your eye or whatever, which happened often. So, eventually, the mask came along and helped him, and Sawchuk swore that his career was extended because of it, and he probably saved a lot of people's peace of mind, not only their teeth and other parts of their faces too. So.
All right, Gary, I'm going to give you a chance to give us the name of the book and where can people get the book?
The book is called Saving Face: The Art and History of the Goalie Mask, and it's by Jim Hines and Gary Smith, and it can be picked up in any of your major bookstores, Chapters, outlets, whatever, and online too.
All right, and also visit ClassicMask.com because I love it, because that's where you'll see some of these great masks as well. Gary, thanks very much for doing this, and we really appreciate your time.
I appreciate your interest.
All right. Gary Smith joining us in the intermission here, thanking him very much for doing so. You're listening to Summit Dodge Tommy Saki on 95.7 The Wolf.